Alright folks, without further ado, here is the long-awaited unboxing of the PS5 that we've had sitting down right there on the corner of the desk since back in July. I think I ordered this and it arrived. So let's get this party started. So this should be the PS5 with the disc. This is the non-digital full-size PS5. I think this is the Horizon bundle. See that over there. All right, yep, there it is. I can manhandle this beast out of here. All right. This is the gigantic box of the PS5. This is the Horizon Forbidden West bundle. At the time that I ordered this, you can only get this through your PlayStation access through the website. Of course, even still as of the date of this recording, these are next to impossible to find in store. It's really just online or nothing. And still, over 2 years after the initial release of the PS5, there's still scalpers selling these things in excess of $1,000 each. So we got pretty lucky to get one. So there's what the back looks like. Harness the power of a custom CPU and SSD with integrated I/O. Breathtaking immersion with the 3D audio technology, even though it doesn't support Dolby Atmos or DTS:X for in-game action. Backward compatible with the catalog of PS4 games. That's great. All right, and there's the 825 gig indicator for the storage on this device. All right, enough talking. Let's crack this guy open. So I always feel a little sacrilegious doing this whenever I do these unboxings, but actually I'm gonna save that guy so we can close up the box and not have it fall apart. Let's do it this way. Okay, I think that's about it. Not quite sure you just pull this out of there or not. Let's see. This thing is significantly heavier than the Xbox Series X was. There we go. All right. It's like just a standard cardboard box. Let's see, it even has instructions on how to open it. All right, lift it out, lay it down, and pull it out. Okay, that's what we will do. I'm assuming it's this way. Yeah, the handle up. Feels like I'm doing something wrong here, but Let's see, I don't... Oh, I see. Remove the box first inside. That's what that was referring to. So I'd imagine this is probably the manual and accessories. Let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah. Quick start guide there. Safety guide. And here's the controller, DualSense controller, power cord, standard power cord, by the way. Actually, this is the same power cord as my Japanese Sega Saturn takes. All right, and then what do we have here? Looks like a USB-C to USB-A cable. Is there anything else? Looks like here's an HDMI cable, HDMI 2.1, I believe. And here's the base stand for the PlayStation 5. If you're intending to stand your console up vertically, you can use this as the base. For our installation, we're going to be doing this horizontally just because there's no room in the AV rack to do a vertical mount. So I'm not too sure how this works in conjunction with that, but we'll get to that a little bit later. For now, I'm just going to keep it inside here. I might as well. So this is the DualSense controller. Actually got a good feel to it. It feels very similar to how the original PlayStation analog controller worked. And for those of you who remember that time, right before the DualShock came out for the original PlayStation, they had an analog controller without the rumble feature that was called the, I think it was just the PlayStation analog controller. And what I liked about that controller was that the hand grips actually extended all the way down your palm, made it feel really, really snug and tight. You can just grip onto it and hold on. The PlayStation controllers just by themselves, as well as the DualShock, kind of round out about here. And at least for my hands, this feels much more sturdy, much more robust, and just, it's got a great feel. I gotta say, they did a really nice job with this design. All right, we'll get to that a little bit later. All right, so I am to remove this. Let's put these there. And actually, we're not going to use the HDMI cable. We already have one connected, an HDMI 2.1 cable, and just waiting for us down at the AV rack. So we're just gonna put this guy back in here, keep it safe, and let's make sure we don't lose it. Right. All right, here it is. Here's what they want you to lay this box down for, because this guy is absolutely massive. And here we go. Ready? So this thing here is just ridiculously large. I don't know if it needed to be this way for any particular reason, but it's just ginormous. We also have a card in here. This is probably our download code for Horizon. Put that over there. Okay. Put this down. down. Here we go. That was the keyboard, not the PlayStation, thankfully. Ah, this thing is just ridiculously massive. All right, let me just contrast it a little bit here. All right, so on the front panel, we have the UHD Blu-ray drive here. We have a USB-C 3.2 Gen 2, I believe it is. I could be wrong, 3.2 Gen 1, I think. A USB 3.0 port as well, standard A socket. Looks like we have very tiny eject and power buttons here. Unlike something like the PlayStation 3, these are physical buttons and not a touch-sensitive panel. On the top, we just have ventilation. And on the rear, starting from the left here, we have, looks like a Kensington lock. We have two USB 3.0 ports, standard A size, 1 gig Ethernet LAN, and your HDMI plug, and your power mains. Pretty standard stuff. On the bottom, you just have that locking mechanism for the stand and some ventilation ports. Looks like some labeling and so forth. Dolby Audio, DTS HD. Yep. Manufactured June in 2022, so we got this about a month after manufacture. Not too shabby. Looking good. All right, well, that's that. Let's go ahead and see if we can fire it up on the home theater and see if we have the right firmware that is low enough that we can actually do the firmware exploit mod and maybe boot some ELF files. So we'll go down and take a look. So after a few minutes of RTFMing here, apparently the vertical stand, or I guess the stand, is required for a horizontal mount. Apparently there's these square, circle, X, triangle markings on the back of the unit that you're supposed to align the clips of the stand to. And that is these guys here. Let me see if I can turn this around just a little bit. So here we have those markings here, and apparently we just aligned the clips of the stand to where the square is, the outermost square and the innermost square on these markings. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, so like that. And I don't know, man, this thing looks, I mean, this stand has these little rubberized holding parts to it, but it really doesn't, I don't know. The whole thing just seems really flimsy to me. It's really seems like it was an afterthought. But evidently this is, that's how you're supposed to do it. I don't know. We'll bring it downstairs, we'll hook it up, we'll see how it works. So when trying to get this thing in here, of course, the very first thing that happens, this ridiculous stand pops off the back. Go figure. All right, let's fix that. All right, let's give it a shot here. So we got everything plugged in correctly. Okay, we're going to register ourselves here, United States. Now, I'm not going to set up a network connection. I actually have a wired Ethernet cable back there that I'm not plugging in right now because I want to make sure that our firmware that we have loaded here doesn't update to something that is not exploitable. Let's see here, desk display area. Okay, it looks fine. HDR. Okay, continue with that disk. Time zone, we are Pacific time. Okay, I want this, but I don't want it to automatically update, which I guess it doesn't matter if it's not connected to a network. Add user. Let's see, I forget what my account actually is. I wonder if I could just do this later. Let's use this for now. I don't really care about this. I just want to check the firmware version. All right, here we are. Let's go. Where are we? System. Ah, rats. See that, guys? Check that out. 5.10 is not exploitable. Only 4.5 and lower. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait for the inevitable hack for this version or whatever the current version may be. Cool. We will just proceed as normal. Alright folks, thanks for stopping in for this video. Hope it wasn't too boring. I was kind of wanting to film the... Finally we opened this box of PlayStation 5 goodness that was under my desk for several months. And hopefully we'll get it ready for some good stuff in the times ahead. Thanks guys, have a good one. See ya.